Journeys clickbaited the world with this, but man, this was a good episode. Alola everyone, Treyman1 here, welcome back to another Pokemon Journeys anime review. I know I haven't said that in about 3 years, but we're finally back. I lost motivation to do the reviews and journeys, but today's episode, Sun and Moon's final episode, brought me back to it. So let's go ahead and get right into this. This episode starts off as a celebration for Mon's return, continuing from last episode. It just really felt like a celebration of Sun and Moon as a whole. We get to see old characters return, like Mallow's father, they're making the food. We get to see that Lily and her family is back and she gets to reunite with all of her school friends. Ash, Gladion, they're all here. I just love this so much. They're just here to celebrate. Ash's Pokemon, they've met before, but we get to really see them interact now. So I love this all so much. But this big surprise and party isn't just the return for Mon, but it's also a return for Ash, the first Alola champion. Apparently, this is big Battle Royale going on where Wick actually ends up announcing this is the first annual champion homecoming. So it looks like they're going to be having this once a year. This is basically kind of Ash's title defense almost, if you want to call it that, because they're going to be at the Battle Royale and everyone wants to battle Ash. I guess they didn't really specify for his title, but just, I guess, to see the champion do his thing. And I love this so much that Ash is finally getting recognized as the champion. The whole Alola region. Early in the series, we was hoping to see, at least other people realize, oh, this is the champion of Alola. But they haven't really done that yet. But he's built his way up the ranks. He's becoming more known and known across the world. So hopefully in his first Masterclass match, they finally announced that he's the champion of Alola. Because what this episode does right here, this episode makes Ash the Alola stand in the Masters 8. You know how I mentioned before, Lance doing Kanto Johto, we have Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, and Kalos. Ash is the Alola stand here. He's here representing the Alola region, and I love that so much. He has the whole Alola rooting for him to bring home that championship. So this episode, not only was it a good final episode for Sun and Moon, but it was a good episode to push Journey's plot. And that's what I love so much about this. It's not only it was a good, okay, we got a lot of nostalgia, we got a lot of, nice old scenes, but it was also good for the plot of Journeys. And that's what I love the most. Even down to Chloe's development. She went through all the evolutions. We all thought, okay, Serena was going to be the last character that she interacts with. But no, we have Lana with her Eevee that just wants to be an Eevee. And that tells Chloe the 9th path. That Eevee could just want to stay in Eevee. And I think that's the path that they're going to go with. Obviously, it's going to probably Gigantamax at some point. But I'm glad that they did this. She went through all the evolutions. But Eevee hasn't met another Eevee yet. So seeing that Eevee has met another Eevee, I kind of wish it copycatted a move from Lana's Eevee too, just to kind of really complete that. But it's no really point of copycatting because Eevee could learn that move on its own too. But still, I just love that even Koharu, who she's been real mixed in this series. I'm making a video on her later on, but even she got some development with Lana. What I really love about this episode is that everyone seeing that Ash is coming back instantly want to go and train and get ready for him. Like, Kiawe doesn't even come back to the party because he's going to Well of Volcano to train for Ash. Gladion, he just got back from his journey, but right after he sees, Ash is going to go celebrate for a little bit, he's like, even we need to go train because they know just how strong Ash is. Lily mentions that they've been watching Ash's battles on the TV along with all of the Lola. So they're seeing how strong the boys are getting. So I like how they want to prepare themselves too for Ash. And even Ash does some training in this episode. It sucks that we can't see it on screen because, he's like, all right, everyone, let's do some training. This is one thing I've been wanting from that first Alola episode we got in Journeys, where I was like, okay, it would be cool if the Alola team helped train the Journeys team to get better when Ash lost to Bia. We didn't get that then, but at least they mentioned that they're going to do it here. So it's just the thought that this happened. I get this one episode. They couldn't put all this in the one episode, but just the thought that this happened. The Alola team, the champion team, was able to help the Journeys team to get better for the Masters 8. One detail I really like is that Hao and Team Skull actually appear in this episode as well. I was not expecting that. Even though they don't have a speaking role, they're here to watch the champion. Hao actually looks kind of salty. he did lose in a bad way with Rowlet. And, Team Skull, I'm glad to see that they're here, watching the battle instead of causing trouble. This shows that, they've grown from way back when the Alola League was happening. I would love to see actually the episodes based on them, more of the Team Skull than How, to see like what Team Skull is doing now. How have they improved? What are they doing? Like that would be kind of cool, but honestly, if this is the last Sun and Moon episode in Journeys, then I'm also cool with this as well. We all know Journeys trolled us with that scene of Ash looking down and sad in the Battle Royale. My whole theory was that Ash was actually going to lose in this episode because everyone was going to, tag team up on him and basically end up defeating Pikachu, showing that Ash, we're applying so much pressure on you because we know that you need to really be on your game for the Masters 8. But that's not actually what happens. Ash looks down and smiles and trolls us all because the battle does end up playing out similarly. Everyone is ganging up on Ash because he's the Alola champion. They all want to beat him. This is why I feel like this is the title defense, because Kiawe and Gladion are going at it themselves. Like, I'll be the one to defeat Ash, because I feel like if they beat Ash in this episode, they might have gotten his title. So I love this so much, how they all were going at it. Gladion actually uses Nihilego Lily for this first time, and you know, he's the first one to lose. I know a lot of people are upset about this, but you gotta realize Nihilego just got caught like the day before, and he only got to train it the night before this actual battle. So for what it did in this fight, it did pretty good. This was his first fight, and it did stand its own and do a lot of damage to Pikachu. I love that Kiawe kept his promise when he made back to Gladion way back when, you know, like we're rivals now, and then next time I'm gonna be the one to beat you. And that's what happened. Kiawe's Marowak. This shows his character growth. Why he's been in the Alola, he's actually been doing a lot of training. And I really wish that he came back as the Kahuna. That would have been even more amazing. But, you know, Olivia is the Kahuna still. There's no reason for them to change right now, but that would have been amazing if he did. And, you know, there's Kukui. Kukui with his Incineroar. Incineroar's bulky as ever. You know, Incineroar takes the most damage in this battle, along with Pikachu. So I'm glad that they didn't go back and, you know, nerf him. Like, you know, most Journeys fights, there are a lot of one-shots, and that's it. They're forcing Ash to win. But I love this fight because I really didn't know what was going to happen. Like, Ash was struggling. Pikachu was struggling. I had in my mind said, okay, Ash is actually going to lose this battle. This was one of the best battles in terms of not knowing what's going to happen. Now, the animation, there were a few scenes that was like, you know, because Journey's animation, it hasn't been the greatest for battles. But I feel like they even stepped it up with some scenes like the quick attacks. Quick attack and, you know, Flare Blitz, Pikachu going at it. Like, I really loved a lot of those scenes. But really what made this battle special, and I really hope that they bring this into the Masters 8 battles, is that unpredictability of us not knowing that Ash is going to win. Because that's my problem with Journeys fights. It's like, we know Ash is going to win. They force Ash to win these fights. But no, this fight was legit. Even Ash's craziness comes back in this episode. He has a Z move coming at him from Kiawe, and what he does, thunderbolts the ground and shoots Pikachu up in the air above it. Like, that's some stuff I want to see in the Masters 8. And, you know, Kiawe is the next one to go down. But I love this scene, too, because they played the Totem theme. That's one thing I've been hoping for. I'm like, you know, I get it. They have a new music director now, so we're going to get new music. But I was like, please, just play the Totem theme once. They didn't even play it for long, but this made my day. I freaked out. I wish I made a reaction to this episode. And what really made this episode special is that everyone called Ash the champion. Ash really earned his title in this episode. We get to see Ash and Kukui, the last two standing. Like, doesn't this bring back memories? Then we get actual flashbacks of Sun and Moon in the Sun and Moon art style. Because a lot of people were expecting, you know, recreated flashbacks in Journeys art style, but the Journeys art style is just the Sun and Moon art style with a bit of an improvement on Ash's design. So there was no real need to recreate these scenes because it's the same art style at the end of the day. I'm gonna just take it as, you know, okay, Sun and Moon was Ash 1 year ago, Ash at 10. Now Journeys is Ash at 11 because, you know, Ash is basically 11. We have Lay, which Lay is so adorable. I love to see where he was mimicking Ash. You know, for Lay to be born, this is like the first annual Return of the Champion. I would just say Ash is 11 at this point, but still, seeing Ash get caught champion by the entire crowd, because even they remembered Ash versus Kukui. This made this so special, and that's when we got that clickbait scene of Ash looking down and upset. But it was really just for him to smile and use the Z move. When I love the way this battle ended. You know, originally, I know Goggles and Kiro, my buddies, they were like, oh, we want Ash and Kukui to end with no winner. I was like, no, this is Ash's first battle as the champion. He needs to win or lose. You know, we need to see what happens. Obviously, I wanted him to win that fight, but I wouldn't want it to end like that because it's like, he's fighting Tapu Koko. We've been wanting to see this battle, you know, be finished since the beginning of the series. I'm glad that they finished that fight, but this one, I'm okay with them ending it like this. Obviously, Ash more than likely won because Incineroar went face forward into 10 million votes on the vote. He probably won, but I love that they ended it off with a, we don't need to know. Like, they didn't need to show that because Ash and Kukui are both the strongest trainers in the Alola region. Obviously, Ash probably did win because he's been training for the Masters 8, but it just felt so sentimental and special with them ending it with it fading to white. Then we cut to the sunset. And to really wrap this episode up, Tapu Koko appears and ends up start break dancing in front of Ash, challenging my boy to a dance battle. He was showing his moves. No, I'm just kidding. But it shows that Tapu Koko is actually praying for Ash to win the world championship. Like, This episode really makes the stakes high for the World Championship now. You know, before Ash was just kind of in it just because he wants to fight Leon. Now he's here representing the entirety of Alola, putting Alola's name on the map. He's kind of like Marnie in this situation where Marnie wanted to do that with her hometown. But here is Ash with an entire region, and he is the champion. So I'm hoping that in the next couple of episodes with the Masters 8, they announce him as the champion. We get to see the Alola crowd cheering for him. I want to see Ash's friends in the actual stadium watching this fight because they really made the stakes high with this episode, and I love this so much. Not only was it a good conclusion to Sun and Moon, but it impacted Journeys, and that's what character returns and like episodes like this should be about. Not only doing good nostalgia, but impacting the story that we have at hand. So I can't wait to see what actually goes down in the Masters 8 tournament. This was a great episode. Perfect 10 out of 10 from me. With that being said though, will this be the return of the reviews? We will see. It's depending on the episodes because there's been a lot of episodes of Journeys recently that I wanted to review, but it's just I haven't had the motivation. So hopefully I will be back to doing reviews again with the upcoming Masters 8 tournament and even Project New stuff at hand. But in the comment section down below, let me know, would you all actually want to see reviews again? I would love to hear, and let me know what y'all thought of this episode. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Trayman1, Alola.